Movies moving. I get a chance to take it. We bout to build it. They leaving it vacant. I just go harder. I am a ball that I gotta get it. I am so with it. I will go get it. That is the difference. I am not waiting. I am not faking. Everything out here, that's for the taking. My mind too right. My grind too tight. This head rhyme too nice. This smile world. My life. One shot. Who me? Take that. Who me? One shot. Who me? That's all you need. One shot. Who me? Take that. Who we? One shot. Movie. That's all you need. One.
We are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Caesars Superdome here in New Orleans. Today we've got an NFC South matchup between the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. Tucker McCann's got it set up and ready to go. And we are underway from the Superdome. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Wasting no time. Corral going to the air. Looking middle, and that's complete. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up a second down in just a couple. This defense for the Saints, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope they'll recover.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. An early test, 2 plays in, this is 3rd and 2. And Charles, you think about what this defense has had to prepare for. They're in for a battle. I mean, they're facing a team that is working on a 6-game winning streak.
And that can be intimidating when you think about it in those terms, but I think what they need to do is make some sort of a statement early in this game, whether it's a turnover, a takeaway, a key sack on 3rd down, a 3 and out. Something lets the other guys know that you mean business. Figuratively, throw the first punch and make it a good one.
Corral with it, 1st down here. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 13 yards, 1st down, Panthers.
Now, how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Eight yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. A first carry for the Canadian-born Chuba Hubbard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Switching it up. Corral going to throw here. And caught by Trimble. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
He's not quibbling about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take what you can get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. On 3rd down, Corral. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points. Maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go
get
into
Kiki
the
first.
DNA of a team.
There's Kiki ready.
Establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Jonah, get Kiki and drop her off and then go. Oh, babe. Kiki's not ready right now? Babe. Is Kiki ready? No, it won't. It's 5 minutes away.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
Play action now. Winston. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched the playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
Well, the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Corral. Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead, it's not harmlessly to the turf.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Corral. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
They run it again with Kamara. And he is going to lose yardage here. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Here's Winston. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Winston to give, it's Kamara. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now. They'll run it with Kamara. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Alvin Kamara with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Saints are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. McCann's got it teed up. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe you give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Well, these two teams, they met in New Orleans earlier in the year with the Saints coming out on top. So they'll be looking for the win here in New Orleans to complete the season sweep. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Panthers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And some room to work. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. It's a Carolina 1st down on a gain of 16.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that goal, into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the Saints will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you know.
And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
When you said jumbled, they were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
To try again after the sack. Corral, he'll fight his man, Laviska Shenault, finding space at the 40. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. Oh, he bowls over him. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Not much on that one, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there that guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well lined to the left, and they will remain 2 scores down as the difference holds at 11.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Panthers are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
They're watching the film, and it's working.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Corral now to throw. Complete into the hands of Trimble. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A gain there of 21 yards.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 38, Corral. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw and coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
On 3rd down, here's Corral. Able to complete this to Shenault. And he is going to have a Panthers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on third down, and they keep the drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. And Corral will throw it. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD. And it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Following the interception, Winston. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 40-yard line.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Winston looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Connor. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down.
It's 3rd and 1.
On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. McCann's kick up and good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal here.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Taking it about the 1. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Pushes him over. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the 1st half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A 1st down throw here for Corral. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so, because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. On 2nd and 15 now. Corral. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So, Charles, for this offense, we've been talking all year about how difficult it would be to run the table. And you gave me your chances early in the year. You thought maybe 25%. A few weeks ago, you thought closer to 50, but not quite 50. Now here they are, 15-0. This is happening, isn't it?
I think it is, Brandon, because I do believe this team is too invested, too well coached.
She did. She took a nap.
Switch now, and I think it also
She took a nap today.
to stay engaged all the way through the season, because make it to the finish line, then they get the open week to refresh and re-energize. But if you get off the gas now, that can really hurt you come playoff time.
On third down, Winston. They'll get this out to Kamara. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up fourth down. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. And Thomas has it. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll start with a give to Kamara. And he's got room. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 52 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Thomas will come in motion right. Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Again, it's Kamara. And able to get this to the 31.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. Another good run there. He's been good all season long. I don't know if he's going to win that MVP award, but just to be in the discussion, obviously that means he's had a great run.
The raw numbers put him in the discussion. Can he carry his team to enough victories? Can he put them in a spot where we say to ourselves, well, an MVP carries his team to the playoffs. That's what he's going to need in order to get that award.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Kamara up the middle. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. Kamara will score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is, I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum.
Hey, babe.
Nice hard-charging run. Give it
Tamara.
right to him and let him cap things off.
McCann's got it teed up.
Did Jonah get her?
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
It's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On 2nd and 9. Corral. That pass complete to Moore. The 20. Touchdown, Carolina. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Well, this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy there at the 24. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. So throwing here to start the drive as they connect offside. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. And ideally using the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. Jameis to throw it. There again is Thomas. They've gone to him a lot. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 114 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. On second down, here's the option. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a first and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Saint touchdown. Taysom Hill, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints are closing in on that 16-0 record as they add on to their lead. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 23. McCann's got it teed up. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. This has been frustrating for them to this point. They have not looked the same as they did coming in, riding that impressive 6-game win streak. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Pete Werner make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Well, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position. And even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly because as fast as he got into the backfield,
and my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it. I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Bulldozes past him. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the 1st down. A nice run right there.
A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, the risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. McCann's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. From the gun, they'll try to run it. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. That's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Corral here, working from the gun. And this one is incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Fourth down, desperation time. Here's Corral. That's going to be caught. It's Chenault. Touchdown, Carolina. LaVisca Chenault, 48 yards.
Gosh,
and the Panthers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that'll make this a 19-point ball game.
Panthers 18.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. A fairly short kick from the 14. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
127 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down.
Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable, but that time the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Alvin Kamara. That's rushing touchdown number 20 on the year,
as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Extra point by McCann, up and good.
And that will bump the lead up to 26.
McCann's got it teed up. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Going to do a bootleg. Here's Corral.
He'll buy some time running.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
And this is going to be a Panthers first down as the tackle made at the 35-yard line.
So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And they've got to feel good about this performance. I think you'd agree, matched up against a top 5 defensive unit in the league, and they pretty much had their way.
Yeah, that was the interesting part about it, because normally when we see this defense play, they have their opportunities and they make their plays, don't they? They knock them back on their heels, they take the ball away, they change field position.